everyone, my name is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about how to heal yourself and 6 origins you need to know for self-healing. So there's many different ways of healing yourself, and there's lots of meditations or Reiki or practices out there. But one of the things that's so important that I've worked with thousands of clients with is where's the origin of that thing, right? Bringing consciousness at least to have a direction, a target of where that certain challenge or that physical issue or that spiritual issue, this thing is coming from. Where is it coming from? And when we can identify at least that category, then we can do some really deep work rather than just having it be general. So it gets really profound in that way. And it's also a way on the self-initiation path that we can look at the different aspects of our life and be like, have I gone into that? Have I looked at that? Maybe that's one of the things that could bring me more expansion, more flow, more energy, or more healing. So it's a great way to do that too and be like, have I checked that off the list? Have I looked into that a little bit? And maybe there's nothing there for you, or maybe there is. So that's what we're going to be getting into in these 6 categories and areas that you can focus on for self-healing. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to comment below. Let me know what you think of this video. Hit that subscribe button and the bell button. So now let's get into it. So the 6 different ways that you can assess that I've used with clients and many different people and myself. So in this human incarnation life, there's 3 different categories that we can look at. And then beyond, in our greater soul aspect, we can look at 3 different categories. So that's how we're going to go about this. So the 3 would be in childhood, in adolescence, and in adulthood. If there's anything that happened along the way that created trauma, or that was a major life challenge or something that happened, that's an area that's going to need to be addressed, and some kind of possible soul retrieval or some kind of healing, some kind of acknowledgement is going to be needed so that the energy can fully flow for you. Now, when I say childhood, I'm also talking about pregnancy and birth, because that area right there, there's a lot of very, very subtle trauma that no one knows about because they don't remember it at that time. But if there's anything around that, so it could be any time childhood, right, that you might remember when you're 4 or 5 or 7, but it's also in that time of pregnancy and your birth. If there was something that happened around that, there's a lot of healing there. And I have a whole video on how that was profoundly life-changing for me to do that healing. That was one of the most profound healings I had. So be sure to go check out that video if that sounds interesting to you or there's something there to explore. So in that early childhood time, maybe there's something in childhood. Maybe your parents got divorced. Maybe there's some kind of sexual trauma. Maybe there's just some kind of pain. You had ADHD and there was a lot of things going on. Whatever it was, looking at those things and doing whatever level of healing in that area is going to be very helpful. Now, adolescence and adulthood, it's going to be the same thing. Were there any points of significant challenge that happened? So in adulthood, for instance, it could be maybe that there was a loss, a financial loss or challenge. There maybe was a divorce. Maybe there was a loss of a child. Maybe there was like a big move or something that happened in your life, a loss, of some kind. And those kinds of things can be looked at in adulthood, and then of course that can be applied to adolescence, and you can look at each of these categories. Okay, now in the more quote fun ones that are more esoteric and on the soul aspect, the 3 categories that you can look at that something might be originating from that's creating a challenge or just not letting as much flow come through, as much energy, as much vitality, abundance in your life. The 3 categories are 1, past lives. Oh yeah, past lives definitely affect us. It's held in the cell memory of our bodies in this time space. It's held in our fields. There's open portals and connections between certain ones depending on our vibration. So past lives definitely affect this time. Different ones can come up at different times, again, depending on your vibration, depending on your location, depending on who you're interacting with. So those can be triggered at different times for different things. So that can be one origin of where these things are coming from. and that's very interesting. I have a whole video on past lives. My intention is to have videos and tools for all of these categories so that you can really, really dive into them. I also have one on the inner child. So I'm going to just have like all of these videos so that you can go deeper into these categories if you so wish. And I also have a personal healing technique that goes and clears out a lot of this stuff very specifically, intentionally, that you can target down below, so you can check out that really, really powerful healing process that I've put together for you. And it's really helpful for any type of healing, and it's also helpful for manifestation and bringing in new positive light and healed energy and templates. So check that out below. Okay, moving on. So past lives, there's a lot there. Now, the other categories, one would be collective shiz that you've taken on. A lot of people take on stuff from the collective. It just happens, whether it's like the greater collective of your country, like the United States, or whether it's like your region, your city. Like there's just stuff that we end up taking on. An example of this could be like for me growing up in Salt Lake City, I took on a lot of collective beliefs in that field of like fear, guilt, shame, those kinds of religious beliefs, even though that was not a part of my upbringing and my belief system structure with my family. So it's interesting how these collective energies can kind of accumulate, and as you clear away each of these categories, you can be like, oh, that's left, there it is. So right now, just go for the one of path of least resistance, the one you're like, yeah, there's definitely something there. Go into that, clear that up, and then it'll illuminate the next thing on the path to look at. So the last one on the soul level is ancestral healing, which I talk about a lot. I have a whole playlist. I have a course, a full course on how to do this healing work because it's so influential. It influences more than 50% of our challenges in our life because it's embedded in our etheric body, in our morphogenetic field. And so it's really kind of interwoven into our own energies, and so we don't realize that it's not ours. Our parents' stuff isn't ours. Our ancestors' stuff isn't ours. We didn't even realize that it was theirs and we were carrying it. And so that's a huge category to explore, to look at. Now, one of the key points that's very interesting as I've been doing this work for over a decade is that you might go into something, past life regression. And if there's something that's up that's more significant, birth trauma, it'll come up like before the actual past life. Right? So whatever needs to come up first, there is a general order of operation, and it will come up naturally as you pursue one thing. So as you just go towards a category, say it's like adulthood challenges or something, and you go towards that category for healing, something else entirely might come up, and that's okay. So just know that something else might pop up first, and then be like, okay, well, this is what I'm meant to heal first, so work on that, and then go back to that other thing. So your energy knows what to unlock first, which will then help and give you the strength, the prerequisite, the energy needed for that other piece of healing. And it's very intelligent in that way. So play with that, tune into it, feel it, and start with something. Definitely pursue a category at the end of this video that you feel like there's something in. You need to start the movement, and then what will come up to assist you will arise. So comment below, let me know which category feels most up for you. Which one you're like, oh yeah, that. Yeah, I gotta pursue that. I'd be curious to know, I'm sure everyone else would too. And if you like videos like this, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button so you get notifications every time I do new videos. And be sure to check out this amazing healing and manifestation process I have below. It's very, very powerful if you're wanting to pursue this self-healing work. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.